When Terry was young, she was about 9 months old, 12 months old. She had her first seizure, and it lasted 2.5 hours.
The doctor knew what was going on. The doctor was fully aware, and that doctor was with Terry forever.
You know, she continually went to the hospital for seizures. Because at first you don't know what you need. I mean, you just need them. We know that the people need help and need to be served.
Our daughter was enrolled in a special ed private school. That school, one day, suddenly closed down. And therefore, there were about 6 or 8 of us families that were left out, kind of out in the cold with, you know, really no place to go with our kids. And there were several parents that were very supportive of the whole process of the school starting.
Mary Lou and Al Alm, and we
there.
named our first group home after them, after Kevin was their son.
Diane Humphreys,
Juanita and
Lynn Blevins,
Nadine and Howard Agron,
Agrins, and
group home leader.
group home leader,
Her name was Jean Patterson.
Jean Patterson, and Carrie Williams. Carrie was a unique individual that had grown up as a teacher in special ed and had grown up not only as a teacher but also as seeing the business element day to day. So he was instrumental in really helping us get Nova going.
My husband was the founding CEO of Nova Center back in 1980. Several parents came to him. They incorporated. They were not happy with this education that their children were receiving, so they formed a school and asked Carrie to run it.
You know, we were in a frantic mode, right, to find some place to start up. And the church basement was really a stopgap measure until we found,
A second church.
yeah,
Yeah, we started out on a shoestring. We had 12 children started in the basement of a church in Westport. We had 12 children, and like I said, on a shoestring. Carrie and I were on a shoestring as well as the school. Then we moved to the Hickman Mills Kindergarten building a few years after that. And we kept growing, so we ended up in Grandview. Jackson County Board of Services let us use a building for $1 a year, which was nice.
and we were in Grandview for quite a few years, actually.
Right. And then we got more funding where we could afford to.
We needed a bigger facility. There was more and more demand through the course of years. People found out about Nova and said, hey, can we do it too? Can we send ours? And so there was a continuing demand for more space.
Then in 2009, that agreement ended. They wanted their building back, so we had to buy the current building where we are at 8401 Hickman Mills Drive. So that was done in 2009. It was basically a big warehouse. We had to have architects and get permits and basically build what we wanted. Getting individualized programs for each one. You know, you have to assess and design a program, and public schools, they had more than 4 students to 1 teacher. So it was hard for them. To be in a classroom day in and day out with school-age kids as well as with adults that have developmental disabilities, it takes a lot of patience and a lot of caring and just a special person. We have 9 houses in our residential program, and our house managers have been there a long time, you know, and we just feel very fortunate that we've been able to have quality people like that and keep them for such a long time.
And I looked in the paper and saw a position for a special ed teacher at Nova Center. And I went for the interview, and Kerry Williams interviewed me. And then he asked me if I would possibly go to the school, which was located off of Longview Road. It was a little bitty church. You know, I was used to a totally different environment and totally different type of children. And so I thought, okay, if I can make it, you know, just maybe through the day, I'll be all right. And I mean, the people were nice and everything, but I just felt like I didn't know if I was cut out for that type, you know, dealing with that type of population. And I need someone in there with me to help me manage this many kids and to be able to, you know, actually teach. And they hired a para for me, and I mean, I ended up falling in love with my job. And by the end of the school year, you know, I kept thinking, oh, do I go? You know, do I stay? And I decided to stay. And here I am, you know, I'm still here. We've been there at that location about 14 years. We have the school-age children, which are 5 to 21 years of age. And then the other program has the adults, which are over 21. And I trained Tammy for the adult program, and she took over the adult program, and I just strictly did the school.
Georgette knows all about education, but the day program needed to be set up and established as a Department of Mental Health program. So basically that was my job, was to take it from a Department of Education to a Department of Mental Health. And so there's not necessarily different philosophies, but you just different expectations from the state. You know, it's more important to know what you do on Monday morning than it is being able to read a calendar. It's more important to know that at noon we have lunch. At some point, we started having conversations about the fact that the people that we serve are starting to get a little bit older. We should start a retirement program. So we did. And actually, it was really funny. It was just kind of a casual conversation we had. And the next thing I know, they're starting to plan this retirement program. So that was actually one of the things that I found out about Nova Center that's pretty awesome. We try to evolve as the needs of the people we serve evolve.
I think our employment services program, it's the newest program that we have, and I think it's really important because once somebody gets a job and earns a paycheck, you know, they have self-respect. They want that, and some people just need a little more help in getting there.
I'm constantly telling new staff, just treat them like you would anybody else, and it'll work for you. That's how you establish your relationships with the people that we serve. And Mark has picked up that torch, where it's like there's a philosophy and there's an attitude and a feeling at Nova Center that it's very family. It's all about the people that we serve, and none of us want to expand so big that we lose touch with that.
I got involved with Nova a little over 25 years ago. I volunteered to be on the board of directors. And Kerry asked me to do that. This guy and his wife and about 4 other parents, couples, they started this with nothing. I think some of them took a mortgage off on a house. We were originally first just a school. Kerry was not only our executive director in this little nascent, startup charity, but he was the first principal of the school. Kerry, he's an old crusty Vietnam veteran. He was an amazing fellow. We're probably lucky that we got him, and of course all those other founders. They knew firsthand what these individuals need. You know, they needed a family love, all the support, and they did it. And they sacrificed. I doubt if they saw it as a sacrifice, but they were sacrificing their lives in order for this beautiful thing that exists now for, how many individuals we serve, between 100 and 150 every year. I mean, it's unbelievable. if you look back and you talk about it that way, you can see that, corny as it sounds, those were, they were a great set of seeds that were planted, and look what we got. We got this beautiful organization and of 100 like-minded employees and 150 individuals that we work with. It's just really, in the end, you think, well, it's no surprise that it turned out this good. We still have individuals that have been here all the way to the back to the beginning in 1980, and they're like family. And whenever we're doing this right in a home or a school or whatever, these children and mostly adults, they want to come here. This is their home. This is where they love to be. This is where they feel the best. They get to, do what they want to do, just like we do, as best as possible.
They make the smallest gain, and they're so happy that they did, so excited that they could do something. However small, it doesn't make any difference to them, but to them, a small thing is a very big thing.
Kerry was carrying the culture of Nova. Kerry knew how to deal with these people, and he was excellent.
It was a gift he had.
And so when he passed away, everybody said, wait, how are we going to carry on this legacy? And Mark jumped in.
It really never crossed my mind to be the CEO of this company. And then I went to my family because I was going to need their support to do this. And then we went to the board. I said, I just told the board, my background in running the accounting department here and the CFO and my other experiences in life, I said, I'm the person for this. And the board, here I am.
The current board is a great group of guys.
We got tired. You can't continue to go at that pace.
Yeah, we started in 1980,
And to have
40 years ago.
young people come forward and help and be on the board and so excited about it.
Yeah.
And so, I've learned that we've got such a solid foundation and history, and we're such a worthy need for the community that unless we just let go and don't do anything, this thing's going to be here long after I'm gone. My hopes, on one hand, it's rather simple. I want to continue the mission, continue Kerry's, what I perceived as Kerry's dreams and wants and everybody else's, and just continue to perfect what is Nova.